Well, at least we were able to get Mr. Ungard as our client. And we know that he didn't do it, which is very important.
So now what do we do?
Well, the trial is tomorrow, and we only get this one chance. There's only one way to prove Mr. Ungard's innocence. We have to find the real killer.
Okay, then let's start looking.
I'm on the case.
Hey, what do you think you're doing? You can't come in without...
Good morning.
Hold on, it's you. What's going on around here? I heard poor Juan was killed. Is that true? It's a bad rerun is what this is. Another steel samurai doing the most evil of deeds.
That's not entirely.
I'll have you know I was a huge fan of Juan's. Why, oh why all the stars, or do all the stars I'm interested in drop by one like flies? Why can't I read today? It's always been that way. The class hamster was fine until it was my turn to communicate to the Queen Reaper. I was with whoever in your evil spell dies with it.
Actually, I wanted to talk to you about the murder and what happened.
Don't push me, boy.
Mr. Nick, I couldn't hear everything she said because she was talking too fast. Miss Oldbag, could you please speak a little slower?
Don't boss me around, you spiky-haired smarty pants.
Man.
My dear Hammer died a year ago in that dreadful murder, and only recently did I find a star that makes my heart go ba-dum again.
I don't know what to say.
I ask you, why does every star I cheer for always end up kicking the bucket? I'd watch your words. No one's going to get away with saying anything bad about my Juan.
But I haven't said anything.
Well, I don't believe a word that woman says anyway.
Huh? What woman?
That irritating backwater girl with the afro and the horrible country accent. I mean, what is that manner of speaking supposed to be, and why does she never stop? Honestly, women these days, they don't know the meaning of the word modesty. When I was a young maiden, I was bad, but despite this, I pressed files, blah, 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 blah.
Pearls, are you thirsty?
Oh, a little.
Alright, I'll go get you some juice or something.
Oh, thank you very much. Hey, are you paying attention, youngins these days?
So I'm guessing Ms. Oldbag heard everything from Lotta. I want to ask you about what happened around the time of the murder.
I don't know anything about that. I was here getting ready.
Getting ready? For what?
The show, of course. Well, and the press conference afterwards.
Cue mysterious music for the magical press conference.
Anyway, I don't know anything about the murder.
I see.
But if you're talking about what I saw, that's different. I saw it very clearly.
Oh yeah, just be as obtuse as possible about it, dude.
What? I saw the most important moment of the night.
The most important moment? You don't mean?
Oh, so now you treat me with respect, you disrespectful child. When you speak to your elders, you should always be polite. Really, kids these days.
Please tell me, what did you see?
The murder last night was gruesome, wasn't it? But then, what murder isn't?
Please don't stray onto another tangent, please.
If you want to hear more, then show your respect and bring this lady a present.
Yeah. Looks like the investigation is still in full swing. The hotel staff and the police are running around like a bunch of headless chickens.
I wonder if we can do any investigating of our own in this kind of atmosphere.
Well, gotta roll up the sleeves and try, I guess.
Hey, you're here. Been waiting for you, Mr. Lawyer.
Lotta?
Hey, Mr. Cop fella. The thief showed his face.
What?
Arrest him. Put him on trial. Find him guilty. Give him the death penalty.
What's wrong, Lotta? Are you feeling alright?
Looked here and there, up and down the mountain, but it ain't here. So why don't you just hurry up and give it back to me, you creep? What are you talking about? My camera. C-A-M-E-R-A. It's my lifeblood. I'm gonna die without my $700 camera.
Your camera?
Look, don't lots of people say the criminals always go back to the scene of the crime? And looky, here you are.
Yep, here I am, faced with a lot of trouble. Huh? So, you lost your camera? It ain't no ordinary camera. You buy it in a store and it's 1600 brand new. Oh, but didn't you just say you bought it for 700? I had a nice long talk with the guy at the store, about 5 hours I reckon. I made this itty bitty scratch on it and the manager got all huffed up in the face. He gave me this talking to and was real mean about it too. He done made me cry at that. When did you lose your camera? Last night, after the murder happened. Must have been when I was busy running around looking into things. That's when I lost sight of my dear, darling, expensive sweetie. Lotta, what did you capture with the expensive camera of yours? I don't rightly know. I snapped a shot of something that caught my eye. So I don't remember. And besides, I couldn't get anything from my big scoop. Wonder if Lotta's missing camera is even connected to the murder. Nah, couldn't be, ma'am. That bag looked kind of suggestive, I won't lie to you. Lotta, please tell me what you know. What you know about what... Please tell me what you know about what happened at the time of the murder. Remember to stay hydrated. I'm ready now. Well, from before the ceremony last night, I was hanging around in this area. Yeah, actually, I was here right until around the time Mr. Ungard was arrested. What were you doing here? You sure you went to school, city boy? Wherever a Lotta goes, there's a story to be found, a big scoop to be had. A big scoop? I told you before, I'm gonna be the best tabloid photographer the world's ever seen. Reckon, of course, that means I'm always looking for the perfect shot. I wonder what scoop she was after this time. Although I was also on the lookout for the other stars that were here. So maybe I wasn't here the entire time. Lotta, are you sure you weren't here the entire time? So you could take a picture for your big scoop? Well, maybe I was, but that's what real journalists do. I got some juicy info. Some juicy inside info, even. So I thought to myself, why not get a picture for proof? What sort of story was it that you would hang around here? Of course. Oops, sorry, Mr. Lawyer, can't be telling you that. Trade secret, you know. Not again. Why does everyone have to have something to hide? We've been stalked, haven't we? Yeah, take that, Mr. Lawyer. I'm glad someone around here is happy. Miss Lotta and I rule, and your I rule smile. Can I go into the crime scene? Let's go. Where are we? We're in Matt Ungard's dressing room. This is our client's room. May I help you with something? Oh, this is not who I thought it was. You're Mr. Ungard's lawyer, correct? I gathered as much. I also looked for lawyers on my end, but to no avail. How do you know I'm his lawyer? You were just saying that he's your client. In a situation like this, the only person who would use such a word would be his lawyer. Wow. It's a simple deduction, really. The trial's tomorrow, and Mr. Ungard's situation is looking rather grim. So you came here, one stop in your mad dash to find clues to build his case, correct? Well, you're not totally right, but you're not totally off either. It's really not the time to be showing off, Mr. Nick. I'm Adrian Andrews. I hate to waste time, so let's get down to business. Alright. She may be of small stature, but appearances can be deceiving. People really like to ship this chick with Franziska, and I'm not sure why. I don't really remember them ever interacting very much. I assume the first thing you need to know is what everyone was doing that night, correct? Yes, that's correct. Then I will tell you. Before the awards ceremony, I had dinner with Mr. Ungard. In this very room, I might add. Dinner? What did you eat? I told you I hate to waste time with trifling details. If you look at the table yourself, you wouldn't need to ask me. I bet she's a lot of fun at parties. When the award show was starting, I headed for Viola Hall. And after the show ended, you came back to this room? No, I had some small errands to run. I helped with the preparations in the lobby. Hello, Spudling. Preparations for the post-ceremony show, I guess. When it was time for the post-ceremony show, I came back to call Mr. Ungard. After that, I went to visit Mr. Kurita, and that's when you found his body, isn't it?
You really held strong through everything.
Yeah, she does seem to be mentally tough as nails. So about you and... Stop right there. You aren't seriously about to ask how Mr. Ungard and I are related, are you?
Sorry.
I have no idea how he could choose you as his lawyer. Why did she have to go and say something like that?
Mr. Nick, calm down and hang in there. I'll give your shoulder a rub to relieve your stress later, alright?
I already gave you my name earlier, but I'll add that I'm Mr. Ungard's manager. His manager? Speaking of managers, did the victim, Mr. Kurita, have one? No, he did not.
He didn't?
Global Studios has a very different policy from Worldwide Studios in that Worldwide Studios does not assign individual managers to their stars. I see. This industry is very ruthless and unforgiving. Actually, you look quite ruthless and unforgiving yourself to your poor partner. Dragging a little girl like her to places like this, honestly.
You're wrong. I'm doing this to help Mystic Maya.
Pearls, calm down and hang in there. I'll buy you a juice later, alright? So, what we got cooking? Looks like dishes left over from dinner. Dinner for two at that.
I'm sure they're Mr. Ungard and Miss Andrews' plates.
Looks like they had T-bone steaks. What's with Global Studios and T-bone steaks? Sword. A sword. There's some samurai-looking clothes on the sofa here.
I think that jacket-looking thing is called a happy.
Whatever it is, I'm sure that something like this would make a great souvenir. Maya would be absolutely thrilled. Alright. It's probably Mr. Ungard's suitcase. For someone who is only going to be here for the award show, this is a lot of stuff. Looks like he has about 3 days worth of clothes here.
Stars really are different from us, aren't they?
That's the bedroom over there.
That's a bed? Wow, they have really big beds here.
That's it. Okay, I guess we'll go to Juan's room, unless doing that prompted a new dialogue. Okay. Actually, maybe I should present her with the profile. Let's just start Korea's room. Well, well, well.
Mr. Nick, where are we?
We're in Juan's Kurita's room, Pearls, otherwise known as the zoo.
Mr. Kurita?
The victim. Which makes this the crime scene, too. Oh, it's you! So what happened? The kidnapper. Has he contacted you again? Not yet. He probably won't until we win Mr. Ungard's acquittal. You doing okay, pal? Hanging in there? I just want Maya to be alright. We don't have a lot of time left, but I'm gonna help you as much as I can, pal. Can you do that, even if we want to look around the crime scene? Just this once. Special circumstances, right, pal? I'll even tell you everything I know, but you gotta keep quiet. It's my neck on the line here. Thank you. Big ups to my man Gumshoe being a real one, even though he always tells us everything and lets us look around the crime scene anyway. Oh, that's right. I got you guys a map of the hotel, pal. Here you go, little missy.
Wow, you're giving it to me? Thank you.
Wouldn't want you to get lost in a hotel this big for too big for its own good. Why can't I read today?
Mr. Nick, or a map.
That's great, Pearls.
But Mr. Nick, I can't read what it says.
Let's have a little peek-see at the map. Wow, they're really just there, huh? They really just like in and here we are. Partial. Do you know what was the cause of death? Well, technically the final autopsy report isn't out yet, but one look at the victim should tell you, pal. It should? Yeah, here's a picture. Now, look. You know, I'm gonna have to be honest with you here, Gumshoe. That doesn't look like it killed him. That does not look like a lethal wound in any way. Because that knife's barely in him. It's in by like a centimeter. I would not think that that killed him if I looked at him like this, personally. There's a knife in his chest. Yeah, pal, that's the murder weapon. So he was stabbed to death. Yes. Hello, Spudling. Yes, please don't knock the microphone off the table, thank you. They're looking at the fingerprints down at the lab right now. There were fingerprints on the knife? Yep. It looks like they're pretty sure they're Mr. Unguard's prints, pal. That's bad. Real bad. Right, you know, they were having dinner over there. I can think of somebody else that would get their hands on a knife of his. Why was Mr. Unguard arrested? Because we had evidence on him. Well, yeah, obviously, dude, but what evidence? Looks like the victim, Juan Carita, really put up a big fight. I don't know that I'd describe that as a big fight. The chair isn't even toppled over. Although that bear is very fucking sad. Yeah, one look at the crime scene and you can tell. There's signs of a struggle everywhere. Well, yeah, during the fight, his button came off. Mr. Unguard said something about a button. Something like one of the Jammin' Ninja's buttons. Got caught in his Akama. But that's not all. What? There was a witness, pal. A witness? Who is it? That lady, Miss Oldbag. Please, anyone but her. Prosecution has plenty of evidence to make a solid case. Not to mention there's something around where the Vic was that's a little off. Something that's a little off, as in, that's for you to figure out, pal.
Alright, let's try to figure it out, Mr. Nick.
I mean, you know, you got a pretty easy layup on this one where you say, oh, it was Andrews because she just took the knife that Unguard was using and then brought a button back to plant it on his costume. You know, you got a pretty easy connection to make there. Is it that simple? Of course not. That knife is a centimeter inside him, you know.
There's a lot of bears.
Alarm clock ones, collector's editions, stuffed teddies, plastic models. It's pretty overwhelming. Is there a kind of bear he doesn't have?
There's even a few in the trash can.
Yeah, I get the feeling maybe the guy didn't really like bears.
Or teddies. It's hard to bear with all these problems. Growl.
Why'd you do that? Nick, why'd you do that? I don't think I want to bear with the trauma the last case caused me.
What's wrong, Mr. Nick? It's so messy here.
Pearls really likes things neat and tidy, I take it.
There are a lot of electronic things in here that I've never seen before. Hey, Mr. Nick, tell me what they are, pretty please.
Okay, that over there is a watch. You wear it on your wrist.
I'll know what a watch is.
Oops. For a second there, I forgot I was talking with Pearls, not Maya. Damn, dude. It's a suitcase. There are so many things packed in it, I bet it barely closes. Closes. There's his clothes, a dryer, an electric shaver, a calculator.
Do all stars pack too much stuff like Mr. Carita?
I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not that full. You say the lid barely closes? I don't know, man. That doesn't look that bad to me. So we got some pretty hideous looking cutlery. Looks like Mr. Carita had dinner last night.
This bottle is tomato juice.
We had a lot of food at the award show last night. But I wonder if the stars have gone on stage only after eating a meal like this. Bottles of cosmetics are scattered all over the floor. This is probably where Mr. Carita fought his assailant.
What are those bits of glass from?
A flower vase, maybe? There are flowers on the floor. I don't know what they are.
You don't know too much about flowers, do you, Mr. Nick?
This is a guitar case, I guess. A little beat up, but still usable.
That's strange. The guitar's not here.
Maybe he forgot to bring it to the show? Oh yeah, you know, it's only like one of the most important parts of his costume.
But Mystic Moya, she said the bright red guitar was the Jammin' Ninja's signature item.
That's true. I also feel like if you picked up a guitar case and it was empty, you would be able to tell fairly quickly it was empty. Huh? This guitar case is wet, but it's only wet on the top of the lid.
Yeah, there's no water inside the case. This is water, isn't it?
We got some juice. It's a beautiful wine glass, and there's tomato juice in it.
Ew, tomato juice. I don't really like it much.
There's a bottle of it on the table over there. That's probably where this came from.
But doesn't it seem weird?
What seems weird?
I mean, everything else is scattered all over the floor.
She's right. The flower vase was broken and the makeup is strewn everywhere.
Why is this glass the only thing that's still alright?
Well, it probably got put there after the scuffle happened, didn't it?
So that's a bed, right?
Yes. It's big, but it's a bed.
Oh, Mr. Nick, it's so soft.
Big beds must be a rarity for her. You're contaminating the crime scene, Pearl. Stop. Nothing else. Okay. Hey, Gumshoe, you want to talk about this at all? You know, what is this? Crime photo? Oh, right. What can you tell me about this guitar case? Oh, that. This is just what I heard, pal, but that's the Jammin' Ninja's signature item. The guitar case? No, not that, you idiot. What do you take me as? I mean the guitar inside, of course.
But the guitar's missing.
Yeah, we looked for it too. It's not normal for a person to forget to bring their most famous item to an awards show. Starting to sound like the red guitar is related to this case after all. No way. So about this wine glass. Ah, so you noticed it, pal. The whole crime scene was a mess, but this glass was the only thing that was untouched. You noticed that too, Detective? No, actually, Miss Von Karma noticed it first. Yeah, Pearl's noticed it before me too. Hey, wait a minute. So does that mean Miss Von Karma is here at the hotel? Yeah, she's around. Man, you're gonna be in so much trouble, pal. Especially if she catches you in here. Well, you can bet the instant I see her, I'll be running the 1,000-meter dash. Uh-oh.
She's rapidly approaching. We have lost a visual on the prosecutor. What's that beeping noise, Mr. Nick?
I've heard this sound somewhere before. It's Miss Von Karma. Huh? For some reason, whenever I hear that sound, she pops up out of nowhere and whips me. Come to think of it, that's exactly what happened the last time. Sorry, but I gotta make myself scarce. Later, pal. Ow! At last, you reveal your true nature, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Gulp. Would it be too much to ask for you to be nice to me for a change? So, you're the type to steal information from pitifully hopeless detectives. That's very dishonorable of you. Ow.
Hey, don't you dare run away, Scruffy McTrenchcoat.
Oh. I didn't think the detectives of this country could be this pitiful.
Detective, come over here for a second.
Yo! I feel better knowing at least you were man enough to face your punishment. He was so scared, he just froze up on the spot. Mr. Phoenix Wright. You have soiled my perfect prosecution record. I'll never forget that. This time, victory is mine. Victory is yours? Is that all this means to you? Yes, remember when she was mad that the right person got arrested yesterday? Not yesterday, you know what I mean. Come, Scruffy, the investigation briefing is about to begin. Yes, sir. This isn't over yet. I swear on my family's honor. Ow. Why did she throw at me? What did she throw at me now? What is this? Well, I guess that means I gotta get back to the precinct now, pal. If you ever need me, come down to the Criminal Affairs Department, alright? And if you can, try not to let Miss Von Karma see you. Hey, what did you... It's not here. Oh, it's on the table. Come on, dude, just put it in my fucking inventory.
Mr. Nick, what's this piece of paper?
It's called an autograph.
Autograph?
The paper's got Mr. Kurita's name written on it, so it's his autograph.
I can't read it at all. To be honest, I've never seen writing that looks like this.
It's a special way of writing called cursive. It's the most cringe of all types of writing. Look here. See how it says, "To my dearest Wendy," in more letters here?
It's this sloppy, unreadable writing. It's crazy and cruel to give this to someone.
Hold on. Wendy. I've heard that name somewhere before. Yes, indeed. I wonder who this could be for. How suspicious. Got anything to say now? Probably not. You on your camera. I didn't mean to come in here. Just out of curiosity, though, you know. Okay. Let's go talk to Old Bag. Oh, Mr. Wright, how are you? Ah, Mr. Powers, have you been here the entire time? Yeah, people connected to the murder aren't allowed to go home, let alone leave. Can you tell me a little more about the Nickel Samurai TV show? Okay. The Nickel Samurai is an action hero program aimed towards kids. It's the sequel to the Steel Samurai. I see. This time, there are 3 samurai brothers: Aluminium Samurai, Tin Samurai, and of course, the Nickel Samurai. It's a love Y in Neo Old Tokyo? I see. Wait, a love what? A love Y. This girl, Sayo, works at a tea shop, and all 3 guys fall for her at the same time. Oh, I guess the Y shape is like 3 brothers colliding over this one girl. Anyway, Sayo is actually the daughter of the evil Strawberry Clan's leader. Sounds like an unusual situation, like Romeo and Juliet, times 3. It sounds nothing like that, I won't lie to you. Yeah. Strange thing is, this sort of forbidden love story is really big with the office ladies. Yes, bro? What happens next? I want to know. Miss Sayo. Does Miss Sayo fall in love? She does, doesn't she? Every Sunday at 8 AM. I'm gonna stop watching Kids Masterpiece Theatre starting this week. Can't believe she's really considering it. So what's the Jammin' Ninja TV show like? It started from a remake of an old movie, to tell you the truth. The Jammin' Ninja, like the samurai shows, is geared towards kids. It's the story of a ninja who can scale a wall, but became a big pop star anyway. What? He was really lousy ninja, absolutely couldn't do any ninja thing right at all. But boy could he sing. With his trusty bright red guitar in hand, he took the ancient world by storm. A ninja? With a bright red guitar? He did just tell you he was bad at being a ninja. And then, the final fight in front of his beloved princess, Misola. Jammin' versus the Muromachi 5. Suddenly, our brave hero catches a not-so-jammin' cold the night before Battle 3. Oh, that's too bad for him. Yeah. But this kind of pop music-based love story is something high school girls really like. Yes, Pearl. What happens next, I want to know. Jammin', the Jammin' Ninja. Will he be able to sing? What about Princess Misola? Every Sunday at 8 AM. Which show should I watch? Can't believe she's really considering it. Hey, do you want to talk to me about, On Guard? Matt's younger than me, but you can practically see his star potential. His star potential? I got his autograph the other day. Feels kinda wrong now, doesn't it? I don't care what people say. Matt didn't kill Juan. I know he didn't. He debuted around the same time as Matt and everything, you know. Really? It started out small. First it was singing contests, then swimming competitions, then it was bowling tournaments, and then it was who could throw the best. New Year's parties, Juan was always trying to one-up Matt. But lately those two were escalating to more and more dangerous things. I thought no good would come of it, so I began to worry. Too bad Juan's story ended so soon. Would you like to elaborate on what they were doing that was suddenly dangerous? Hey, old bag.
Alright, I'll be honest with you for now.
Then please tell me what you saw.
But what a waste. And here I have a perfectly good chance to have a little fun at you youngins' expense. I am a little devil after all.
Doesn't that imply you aren't a good person? Alright, I'll give you what you want. Behold.
That's Juan's autograph.
Yes, it is.
It even says to my beloved Wendy on it. That's me, right? Right? My name is Wendy Oldback, so that Wendy has to be me, right?
Well, it may say Wendy. But somehow I don't think Juan had this Wendy in mind when he signed it.
Please give it to me. Please let me have it.
I can't let you have it just like that.
Yes, I know. Then how about an exchange?
Yeah. Wow, she must really want this autograph.
My offer isn't good enough for you? Fine, Mr. Wright, you win. Wendy Oldbag, ready to open up her heart, all for my dearest Juan.
Yeah. She's really easy, you know.
I feel bad for you now. Huh? I tell ya, I saw him that night. I saw him coming out of Juan's room.
You're kidding.
Oh no. It was about 10 minutes before Juan's body was discovered. It was just a coincidence. I was on my way to the toilet, minding my own business.
And did you tell that to police?
Well, of course. I thought I could get a gift certificate or two out of it, maybe more.
Gift certificate?
I've been recruited again for that part of the trial. You know, the trial tomorrow. This time, you're gonna get it. I'm gonna work hard to get your client pronounced guilty.
But Mr. On-Guard hasn't done anything bad.
I don't care about details like that. I know he did that. I know he did my dear poor Juan in. I just do. That yellow-bellied chicken.
Yellow-bellied chicken? I wonder what that would look like.
I trust my senses. I know when someone did something bad, and I say he did it.
What did Mr. On-Guard ever do to deserve this? What did On-Guard do to you to make you so...
You don't know. That guy, he framed my Juan. He created that scandal that plagued poor Juan. Mr. Nick.
What is it?
What's a scandal?
Oh, I'll tell you about that after we get home, okay?
Poor Juan, led astray by the wiles of that vile temptress.
Mr. Nick, what do vials and wild temptresses mean? How about we just listen to what Miss Oldbag has to say for now, okay, bros? So, Miss Oldbag, who is this woman you're talking about?
Adrian Andrews, of course. Who else? That guy, he shoved the girl onto Juan on purpose.
His own manager? But why?
I thought lawyers were smart. It was to create a scandal to make Juan lose face. That girl drove Juan into a scandal that dragged his reputation through the mud.
Sounds like a pretty standard definition of a scandal to me. Why do you know about that anyway, Miss Oldbag?
I'm one of Juan's biggest fans. I'm always out there gathering information. There's nothing I don't know.
And do you have proof that Mr. On-Guard did what you said?
Next week's issue of a certain magazine says so.
Ugh, of course, a tabloid.
Next week? Doesn't that mean it's something people don't know about yet?
Why would Miss Oldbag have information like that? And where did she get it? Well, now let's go talk to Adrian. Hey, bro, do you want to talk about anything? Okay. You want to talk? No. You're in On-Guard's room. Oh, come on. Hey, what if I talk to you about Oldbag? Okay. On-Guard? I asked to become Mr. On-Guard's manager. He's a pleasure to manage with his nice disposition. Mr. On-Guard does seem a rather weak-willed man, always doing what he's told.
He's always saying, my manager, right, Nick?
Juan. Did you know the victim, Mr. Kurita? Yes, I knew him. The world is such a small place, after all.
Did you know about his rivalry with the Nickel Samurai?
Honestly, they were like children when it came to that. Time and time again, those two competed with each other over the most trivial things. If either one of them wasn't so stubborn, then maybe no one would have needed to die. I've got a hunch that this woman knows more than she's letting on. She must know why Juan was killed. This is what I get for not presenting it earlier. Do you have any ideas as to why Mr. Kurita was murdered? Why would you ask me about such a thing? I'm just doing my job, so do you have any ideas? God damn it. Miss Andrews? Sorry, but there's nothing more I have to add to this conversation.
Is it a psyche lock, Mr. Nick?
Yes. There's going to be more and more. There's getting to be more and more of these lately. This is the final boss. Alright, let's see if we can do you. Actually, no. Before I do that, the criminal affairs department was open. Let's go there first.
Doesn't look like Mr. Scruffy Detective is here.
Great. Now even Pearls is calling him Scruffy. They did say something about an investigation briefing earlier, right? Why don't we come back and try later when they're done?
Okay, well, I guess that's all we can do, right, Mr. Nick?
Alright, let's see if we can talk to Lotta. Behold. Lotta, will you please answer my questions? On the night of the murder, why were you loitering around the victim's room?
I told you, didn't I? For my scoop.
What I want to know about are the details of this scoop.
That's not something I can tell you. I mean, that's my bread and butter.
Alright then, an unpleasant tabloid photographer looking for a scoop. I'm gonna say that you were looking into a scandal.
Grr.
Could it be that you, Lotta Hart, were looking for a break with a huge story? Perhaps an unfolding scandal between Juan Carita and this person.
This woman.
She's Adrian Andrews, Matt Unguard's manager. The Nickel Samurai's manager, caught secretly meeting with his rival, the Jammin Ninja. It would be the hottest story of the season, wouldn't it?
You're pretty good at this guessing thing, Mr. Lawyer. But you can't just make up any old thing and think it'll make the papers. You gotta have backup.
Backup?
Yeah, you gotta have that. Now what's it, news sauce?
You mean news source?
That's it.
So tell me something that shows that Juan guy had something with Miss Andrews. Well, I don't have that, do I? Alright, maybe if I talk to Powers about Adrian. Hey, dude. Hey, that's Miss Andrews. She's Matt's manager. Actually, I was interested in her for a little bit. Just a little. So Mr. Powers likes this type of woman. I bet he does. What do you know about Miss Andrews? Well, see, here's the thing. I don't really know her at all, you know? There's sort of a small rumor going around about her right now.
A rumor?
If you're interested, I'll be glad to share what I know. He's so happy. He looks like he's a lion who's just found his next meal. I don't know about that.
Give me that juicy gossip on Adrian.
Would you mind telling me about this gossip? So you are interested. I figured you would be. Yeah. I have such a weakness for celebrity gossip, too. Oh, really? You too, huh? Yeah, take a look at this. Looks like a tabloid Miss Oldbag would read. Alright, let's see here. Jammin' Midnight Rendezvous. To the mysterious yet beautiful manager, to the stars, Miss A.A. You see now, don't you? What? You can't stop pretending to be in the dark, Mr. Wright. Juan Carita didn't have a manager of his own, which means if we're talking about a certain manager with the initials AA, Adrian Andrews, you thick bitch, god damn it. Yes, exactly. This is big news. But it seems kind of odd, that woman, Miss Andrews, together with the biggest rival of her client. It's that wonderful thing that can only happen between two people.
Mr. Powers looks so happy.
Pearls is just following along, not having any idea as to why he's smiling. Well, like the saying goes, one man's garbage is another man's treasure. Let's go. Now let's go talk to Lotta. Observe the Magatama. Adrian, newspaper. This is the article from a certain weekly tabloid. Jammin' Midnight Rendezvous. To the mysterious yet beautiful manager to the stars, Miss A.A. Ah! Mr. Kurita didn't have a manager of his own. What's more, his rival, Mr. Ungard's manager, Adrian Andrews. She has the initials A.A. You saw this article and then thought to take some pictures of them as proof. That's why you were lurking around Mr. Kurita's door last night. Wah! Easy. You were looking into Mr. Kurita and Miss Andrews' affair, weren't you? You got it. I was gonna get myself a scoop by catching them at a secret meeting. But there's already an article about it in one of the weekly tabloid magazines. It's no longer breaking news. What you say? Her initials are AA. What kind of vague thing is that? That ain't no proof of nothing. People are gonna want to see real proof. Well, at least I do. That's what I was doing, getting photos. Oh. I'm gonna whip up the reader's interest with some gossip and a little misleading. Ah, lying. Classic. Then spice it up a little and have myself an exclusive story. Well, a lot of nice journalistic integrity you got there. I already finished writing up my spicy article, you know. But the paper I wrote it on, my note to myself, it's gone. Your note to yourself? It was inside of the case of my $1,600 camera. They done run off together. I came here for my big story. Didn't come here to have my treasure disappear on me. Yeah, I understand. It's enough to make a gal go bonkers, I tell you. What's with people now, anyway? I never thought I'd see the day when someone would steal something from me. You really want that note back, huh? I've got no idea why, though. The story on that note is probably a bold-faced lie. Alright. Before we try Adrian again, let's see if we can talk to Gumshoe back at the station. Detective Gumshoe said they had an investigation briefing. Yeah. Oh, he's back. Hey, so you came, pal. Why the blunt greeting? Because there's nothing to be friendly or happy about. What do you mean by that? Well, things look perfect this time around. The evidence and the testimony are airtight. But they say that every time. We can't just roll over and die. We have to stay positive. So what do you mean by the evidence is airtight? I can't give you all the details, pal, but there's two big pieces. Two? And both of them are in this photo. The first is the button that's missing from the victim's chest. That's the button you found during your body search of Matt Ungard. Yep, I found it in the folds of the Nickel Samurai's special pants. And the second one is... the knife in his chest, pal. The fingerprints on the knife in his chest, to be exact. Fingerprints? Whose are they? You didn't even have to ask, little missy. It's obvious. They're Matt Ungard's. Tomorrow's trial. Talk about being stuck between a rock and a hard place. So what about this airtight testimony? It's that old security lady, Miss Oldbag. I thought so. What do you mean you thought so? Did she tell you something, pal? Well, I even told her not to open that mouth of hers and blab to anyone. Her blab knob is stuck on 10, and there's no turning it down, trust me. Yeah, well, Miss Oldbag saw it all, pal. She saw Matt Ungard come out of the victim's room around the estimated time of death. No way. Yeah, but did she actually? You know, is that what happened? Camera? I don't think so. Case? What can you tell me about this guitar case? Oh, that. This is just what I heard, pal, but that's the Jammin' Ninja. This is the same thing. We looked for it too, so yeah, we already know this. Okay. Do you want to talk to me about this magazine clipping? We're pretty interested in this bit of gossip ourselves. The scandal with Mr. Kurita, but why? Well, 2 years ago, a woman committed suicide. Suicide? Her name was Celeste Impax. And she was Juan Kurita's manager. The victim's manager? But that's not all, pal. Miss Impax was Adrian Andrews' mentor. She taught Miss Andrews everything she knows about the business from square one.
Her mentor?
A woman who was both Mr. Corrida's manager and Miss Andrews' mentor. Could her suicide have something to do with this case? You want to know more about her, pal? Tell me everything you know. She was the victim's manager and also Miss Adrian Andrews' mentor. It's been 2 years since her suicide, and now those two are linked again by another death. Or maybe it's just a coincidence, but I'm getting sick of dealing with one foolish idiot after another. Miss Von Karma. You can't seem to stop allying yourself with the enemy, can you? I don't need a traitor in my midst. You don't mean. I do, Scruffy. You have 30 minutes to get out of here. You're no longer needed. Goodbye.
Thanks.
Wait, please wait, sir. If I don't get this month's pay, I'll start quiet. If it weren't for traitors like you, I would have won. Is that what you want to say?
Who?
That voice.
Edgeworth.
It's been a long time, Wright.
Yeah, this person. This is Mr. Edgeworth.
What am I gonna do with you? Still blaming others when things go wrong? You haven't changed a bit, Franziska.
You.
How dare you show your face to me without a shred of shame upon it? You've soiled the Von Karma name, dragged it through the mud. You even ran away with your tail between your legs like the ill-bred dog you are. Are you talking about the Von Karma family creed, to be perfect in every way? Then let's hear it, Franziska. How are things going? I hear you are having a rough time maintaining perfection in this country.
You
seem to be getting crushed under the weight of it all. That's why I came back. Keep your assumptions to yourself. I haven't given in yet. I won't lose. This case is mine. I'll never hand it over to you. Never. Mr. Phoenix Wright. I will see you tomorrow in court. It will be a clinical lesson on the meaning of total victory. Still the same wild mare she always was. So how you doing? I thought you, the prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, had gone and died.
Mr. Nick.
I never wanted to see you again. I think that's enough of a warm welcome for someone you haven't seen in years. Are you gonna run tomorrow's trial? You heard her, right? The wild mare hasn't given in yet, it seems. So no, I don't think I'll be making an appearance. Your hatred for me is quite unhealthy, not to mention one-sided. But I will say one thing. You can't win on your own at the trial tomorrow. What's that supposed to mean? I have something definitive that you lack. And working together is the definition of teamwork. It's the power to find the truth. The truth. In order to understand this case, you have to understand a certain truth. Well, if you ever feel the need for my assistance, it is available to you. I'm not in charge of this case, so I can be a bit more generous with information. What's going on inside his head? A lot of things may have happened, however, Manfred von Karma was still my mentor, and a perfect win record is proof of von Karma. 1 year ago, you could not establish guilt in a few cases. Are those losses the reason you suddenly disappeared from the prosecutor's office? Did you leave because you had lost your perfect win record? Is that really the vibe you get, dude, given everything that happened? To think your motivation for prosecuting trials was so selfish. It'd be better for everyone if you never came back from the dead, Edgeworth. Jesus Christ, do you not remember what happened, Nick? I see. Then let me ask you something. Why do you stand in the courtroom? What is your reason? Well, with Franziska, she almost always says, "I'll defeat you this time," the instant she sees me. But the courtroom is not a personal battlefield for prosecutors and lawyers. I stand in the courtroom to defend my client, to save their lives. To save your client, you say? Those who only think of their own ego-driven goals, those kind of prosecutors are reprehensible to me. Even if you're a prodigy, or someone like you, Edgeworth. And it looks like there's still a lot you have yet to learn. A lot I have yet to learn. Me, Mr. Wright, the perfect lawyer. Well, that's enough for now. The time when you will see is coming soon enough. Hey, do you want to talk to me about, like, fucking, I don't know, On Guard? While I was abroad, those deplorable types of actors became popular, I take it. Well, refreshing like a spring breeze is his motto. Refreshing? And what's so refreshing about a spring breeze? Sounds like the pollen is not treating him well this year. There's an interesting rumor about this man. Do you mean the one about Miss Andrews getting close to him? But that's pretty common tabloid fare, isn't it? I don't take things at face value when there's more to be found. Adrian Andrews. She holds a large secret within herself. A secret? You can't help but feel that this whole case revolves around her. Francisca? Okay. Celeste? This woman is another key to solving this case. Do you really think so? She was Adrian Andrews' mentor a long time ago, but she was suddenly called away by a different show and became Juan Carita's manager. Then, a few months later, Celeste Impax died. But her death was ruled a suicide, right? Yes. But there's still one more riddle we've yet to solve. A riddle? Her suicide note. It went missing. No one could find it. A suicide note that just vanished, huh? Want to talk about yourself? Okay. You want to talk about the suicide note? Let's go. Miss Impact's death was most certainly a suicide. Of that, there's no mistake. However, we could not find her suicide note. That's when the police began to suspect someone had hidden it. The suicide note? But how do you know Miss Impact had even written such a note? There was no solid evidence, however. We did find traces of ink on her right index finger, which makes the likelihood of a suicide note very high. But who would hide such a thing? The police think it was Mr. Juan Carita himself. The victim? He was the one who found her body, which makes him the only person who had the chance to hide her suicide note. Mr. Carita hid his own manager's suicide note? But why? As long as her note is missing, any speculation beyond this is meaningless. For now, I think you should look this over. This is the suicide report. Part 1, anyway. Part 1. Let's have a little peek-see. Oh, that's it, okay. Fair enough. Alright. Let's see if we can do Adrian yet. All the way across. Looks like Miss Andrews isn't here. That's not good. I still have a few questions I want to ask her. And she has that psyche lock on her arm, right? Well, we don't have much of a choice. I guess we'll have to come back later. Well, now what the fuck do I do? Hey, do you want to talk about this? Uh-huh. Anything going on in Carita's room? Okay. Do you want to talk about this? Actually, maybe I should show you Celeste as well. Okay. Do you want to talk about this? Okay. Detention center, then? Do you think it's some sort of weird thing where I have to show him the fucking thing? I don't like to look through reports. I like suicide reports even less. Worst of all are the reports that have multiple parts like that one. That has 2. 2 parts? What you just handed me is the first part of the report. Here's the second part. Why the fuck couldn't you just give me both of them? The attempter's name, it's Adrian Andrews. Miss Andrews? What did she do? She tried to kill herself? She doesn't seem like the kind of person to try and kill herself, though. You think she's a strong career woman? That's just what she wants you to think. Adrian Andrews. She has a certain secret she's always trying to hide. A secret? Her dependent nature. That's what she's really like on the inside. Miss Andrews, dependent. Talk about the exact opposite of what that woman is. I don't know where you got this vibe from, because, like, she just seemed like an average person, to be honest. What's this about Miss Andrew having a dependent nature? Adrian Andrews' attempted suicide was a few days after the death of Celeste Impacts. And why did Adrian Andrews think about committing suicide? Because she had apparently lost her will to live. Lost her will. But why would she? Her pillar of strength, her mentor Celeste Impacts, was gone forever. That's why. Why would that? Is this what they call following someone to the grave? After her attempted suicide, Adrian Andrews started attending counseling sessions. She is someone who needs a person in whom she can trust absolutely. And once she finds that person, she'll do anything she can to keep them near. Without such an anchor in her life, her crippling anxiety stifles her ability to live. And that's the nature of her dependency on others. When Celeste Impact suddenly committed suicide, the world before her turned pitch dark. That's according to Adrian Andrews herself. Then, that means her super confident attitude. It's all a facade. She's only copying her mentor's behavior to hold herself together. How terrible. Alright. Now can we talk to Adrian?
Oh, Miss Andrews is here.
But it looks like she's talking with someone. That's Franziska von Karma. Oh, they do interact.
Miss von Karma.
What are you doing here? Well, you see, I'm his lawyer, so... You've got some nerve following me around. Following you?
That's you. That's you, Miss von Karma. You're the one doing the following.
Pearls.
You're always following after that detective with the little beard.
Me? Following after Scruffy? Don't make me laugh. Let me show you something interesting, little girl. It's a dragon radar.
What is that?
An electromagnetic receiver. I planted a tracking device on that detective. And with this, I know that fool's every move. So that noise we heard was this receiver. I feel really sorry for poor Detective Gumshoe now. Now then, let's stop wasting time. Adrian Andrews. Yes? Think hard about what we just discussed. Understood. Alright. What were those two talking about?
Miss Andrews. She seems a little dazed, doesn't she?
It's time. Why was Juan Carita murdered? If you ask me, I think you know the reason he was killed. Why are you hiding things? Don't you realize you're putting Mr. Ungard's life in danger by your actions? Why do you ask questions for which I have no answers? The truth is, I was not that close to Mr. Carita. You were not that close? That's right. I've never been good at being intimate with another person. Well, what about this here article? You and Mr. Carita had an intimate relationship, did you not? A silly third-rate tabloid article. If you even had half your wits about you, you wouldn't believe such rubbish. Well, it seems quite a few people have already bought into this story. As to be expected in a world filled with crooks and liars. Note to self, stay on her good side. In any case, I despise interpersonal relationships like that. I see. However, what if there was a need for you to get close to someone? Me? Need to get close to Miss Carita? As if there was ever such a need. Didn't you get close to Mr. Carita for this person's sake? Celeste Impacts, your mentor. How do you know about Celeste? Miss Impacts, she committed suicide, didn't she? But it looks like no one knows why. Right before her death, she was Juan Corrida's manager. So I believe you got close to Mr. Corrida so you could find out more about her suicide. You have a great imagination. You may have a future as a slimy muckraker for a putrid third-rate tabloid. But Miss Andrews? There was no mystery surrounding her death, none. It would be pointless for me to force myself into a relationship for nothing. Is that really true? Was there no mystery at all? But consider the fact. No suicide note. It's not that one, it's this one. Miss Impact's suicide note was never found, was it? It looks like the police were under the suspicion that someone had hidden it. Like maybe the person who discovered her body, Mr. Corrida. Juan? And Miss Andrews, I believe you thought the same thing. That's why you became intimate with Mr. Corrida. I've sat by quietly and listened to your insulting ramblings long enough. It's true, Celeste was my mentor. However, allow me to say this again. It had nothing to do with me. I didn't even know that her suicide note was never found. I'm a person who doesn't care about what goes on in the lives of others. That's the impression you like to give. However, I don't think that's who you really are. What? I have evidence that says otherwise. Observe. Miss Andrews, you nearly went through with it, didn't you? Went through with what? Ending your life. Miss Andrews, you look and act like a very strong woman who has it all together. You don't ask for anyone's help, relying only on yourself. Yes, I've been very independent ever since I can remember. However, that's all just a lie, a facade. You've always searched out people on whom you can depend. You were dependent on Miss Impacts, weren't you? Which is why, when she passed away, you lost everything you had. Stop! When Celeste passed away so suddenly like that, I died a death of my own, but no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't stop thinking about what had become of her note. You must have heard about the police report. The one that said the police suspected Mr. Corrida of hiding Miss Impacts' note. You heard about it, you thought you'd recover it from him by getting close, am I right? If that's the case, then everything changes. What do you mean? What topic did we start this conversation on again? It was why was the victim killed? Exactly. Somehow, Miss Andrews, it seems that you have become the one with a reason to want Mr. Corrida dead. Me? Miss Impacts was everything to you. And then she died. And you would do anything to find out why she killed herself. Even commit murder. Murder! It's true. I'm a woman who can only live in insecurity. I'm physically small, and I don't really have a lot of self-confidence. I've pushed against all that, though. I've tried to live strongly. I never wanted anyone to find out the truth. Miss Andrews. This one thing. It's the one thing I wanted to take with me to the grave. It was my secret. Mine and mine alone. I'm sorry. You probably think I'm a worthless human being right now, don't you? Please, Miss Andrews. All I want to know is the truth. After Celeste passed away, I heard that someone had hidden her suicide note. And that someone was Juan Corrida. Celeste. Without her, I became scared. Everything seemed like they were out to get me. So you got close to Mr. Corrida to recover her suicide note, correct? Looks like that tabloid reported the truth after all. Ironic, isn't it? Well, like they say, where there's smoke, there's fire. And if they purposefully add fuel to the fire, they keep the celebrity wool burning. But as for the suicide note, I didn't and wouldn't kill anyone for it. It just doesn't suit me, that's all. Well, that's enough for now. I still have work to do, so I understand. Oh, I have one small favor to ask. My attempted suicide, I'd like for you to keep it a secret. Miss Andrews. If people found out about my weakness, I would sooner choose to die than live. Alright, I understand. We'll keep it a secret. Miss Andrews. I guess she's the overthinking type. She probably never says anything without carefully thinking it through first. Thank you for your discretion. Mr. Nick, can I ask you something? What is it? Miss Andrews has been playing with that card in her hand since a little while back. That card? Yeah, I guess she has. Miss Andrews, what's that card you're holding? Huh? Oh, this? I don't quite know. It just suddenly appeared in my handbag. What is it? It looks like a seashell? That's what it looks like, doesn't it? I honestly don't remember owning this card. I wonder where I picked it up from. Her not remembering something clearly? Sounds like it would be a rare occasion. Well, I must be off. I leave Mr. Ungard in your capable hands. Well, I think we've gathered about all we can. What about Mystic Maya? Is she alright? Oh, Pearls, she looks so worn out by all of this. She hasn't slept at all, and she's been walking all over the place with me today. What's wrong, Mr. Nick? Let's go back to the office for a little while. You're really tired, right? Oh, no. I'm okay, really. I'm fine. I really am. You don't look fine to me. I feel like we've done some pretty thorough investigation work today. We've been out here for what feels like 1,000,000 years chasing down leads. So, what now? Well, we did find one thing out for sure. Miss Andrews has a motive. You mean Miss Impact's suicide note? That's right. She was also the one to discover the victim's body. Clever. Oh, Mr. Nick, the transceiver. Hello? Wright & Co. Law Offices? Mr. Attorney, you're not answering a phone. Maya, where's Maya? As I promised, I have not gone within a few feet of her this whole time. Which is why, I suppose, she is absolutely famished. What? So I suggest you win a quick acquittal, my friend. At any cost, wouldn't you agree? Wait, Maya, let me hear her. Very well. Ask my... Maya, is that you? Sis, ask my sis. Maya, damn it, you cut me off. Mystic Maya said ask my sis, didn't she? Sis? What does she mean by that? Come on, Phoenix. You're a hopeless one. Oh, sorry. Mia. I have a message from Maya, so come. Ask me anything you want about her. How's Maya? She's safe, for now. The kidnapper is one to keep his word, it seems. I'm glad to hear she's safe. But Mia, how did you know? As soon as she was locked up, Maya called for me. I read the note she left. Then I gathered as much information as I could about her surroundings. I didn't know you could use spirit channeling like that. Pretty smart of her. The kidnapper. What's he like? I don't know. Apparently Maya went to answer a phone call at the hotel and was dragged here. And she didn't see the face of her attacker. Gee, I wonder who it could be. We didn't see anyone suspicious that day, no sir. Maya's locked up in a very dark place right now. I'll tell you everything I heard when I was with her. When you were with her? I'm starving. I could really go for some apple pie. I mean, at a time like this, sweets are the only way to go. I have to stay positive. He promised he wasn't going to kill me, so I'm not going to die. Sis, I wonder if you're with Nick right now. Oh, how about that? Wow, that got resolved quickly, didn't it? Kinda looks like a business card, but there's no name on it. It's a picture of a seashell, I think. What a strange card. Ah, well. Drat, it's locked. But this door's lock seems easy enough to open. On TV, the hero always uses a plastic card or a stiff piece of cardboard. Then click, they magically open the door. I wonder if there is a card around here. Ah, that's it, this shell card. If I use this, maybe I can get the door open. This might be my key out of here. I had a feeling this card might be useful. I'm such a genius. Alright, now if you'll excuse me, Mr. Kidnapper. I did it! Okay, now I'm getting the heck out of here. I shouldn't keep Nick waiting, or worried. Dun 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 dun. Of course, she totally escaped and everything was fine. This situation, you know, we don't have to worry about dragging out the trial or anything. No, sirree. No, it's all good.